For anyone who's a chud out there, you do not need to ascend. Obviously, I'm not saying you shouldn't groom yourself or take care of your body. I'm talking about the extreme measures like blasting steroids and peptides and different drugs to make you a little bit skinnier, or taking roids to get extremely buff in a short amount of time, because these could have long-term effects you're not aware of. Or even worse, you're just gonna die. You're gonna straight up just die. You're gonna croak right there on the spot. And I'm only making this now because of what just happened with clav. So let's talk about the clavicular situation that just happened the other night where he OD'd. By the time of recording this video, he's already out of the hospital, but he said he's never gonna do whatever he took again. He's not gonna do it anymore. I don't know exactly what he took. I don't know what he did, but he just said on stream after he got released from the hospital that he's never doing that again. He doesn't want to talk about it, and he's just not gonna do it again. But for those of you who live under a rock and don't really know what happened the other night, a content creator that's pretty much the face of looks maxing right now named Clavicular OD'd at a club yesterday in Miami. Yeah, that Miami, the place where people go to buy a business and become crypto scammer gurus and sell courses on how to make money, and they actually just make the money off of you buying their course. That's where this whole situation just went down the other day. And all MAGA aside, whether you love or hate clav, the whole situation is sad that it got to this point. And when I first saw the video of him being carried out by his security guards, it was honestly scary to watch. Because for those of you who didn't know, I met clav at the Santa Cruz Locked-In Challenge. And I'm not trying to be that guy that's like, oh yeah, me and clav were super close. I can't believe that happened to him. Me and him were super close. We were tight. I can't believe he OD'd. No, I'm not gonna be that guy, okay? I did shake Clavicular's hand before he became super mainstream and famous. I met the guy. I saw him for what he was at the time. But it was just crazy that I met him and talked to him briefly before his huge blow up to the mainstream. And then seeing him OD, it's like, damn, I talked to that guy. You know, I hope he's good. Like, I met this guy in real life. It's like kind of crazy to see him in real life and then him ODing in Miami the other day. Like, it's just, you know what I'm talking about? It's just kind of crazy to see. So I'm not clout chasing or anything. I just wanted to put that out there because something about the situation hits different when it's someone that you personally met in real life. And I'm not saying that his steroid or peptide use caused him to OD or anything. I'm not blaming the enhancement stuff, but I am going to blame the drugs that he took while being on stream with all his viewers knowing what he was doing. Like, this guy literally built a cult fan base off of doing some of that stuff. Not putting him in a box saying that's the only reason he has fans, but the average clav fan doesn't know too much about his deep dive lore. They just like to watch him because he ascended and did all these peptides and stuff and takes all these drugs and he's completely fine. Look at him. He gets so much women. He mogs. And that right there is the dangerous part to the broad audience of people that like his type of content. And I'm also not saying that he encourages his fans to do any of this stuff either. But obviously, there are going to be some autistic incel outliers that think that everything he's doing is cool, and if they follow in his footsteps, they will ascend as well. They will become this 6'7" Giga Chad that mogs with perfect facial symmetry from left to right of the ears. And even after this clav OD situation, there's still going to be people that are already following in his footsteps and aren't going to stop. Like, these people think you can just blast peptides and get leaner while doing crazy hard drugs at the same time and be completely fine. We can go LARP in Miami and rent a Lamborghini and take so much ketamine and all these drugs and be completely fine while also blasting Retta and gear at the same exact time, guys. It's the best formula of all time. And it's also scary because the people that do follow in his footsteps probably haven't done extensive research to the degree that clav has about these peptides and drugs that he's taking. Like, if you know anything about clav, this guy has been in the Reddit forums for years just doing research of everything and documenting everything he's injected into his body for multiple years now. He's been doing multiple years of research of everything he's been doing and documenting it throughout the years. So he knows exactly what he needs for his body and how much of it he needs exactly, and he knows what not to take and all that jazz. But even with that being said, if you're one of those people that are following his footsteps, you don't even know if the product you're getting is actually legit in the first place. So with him, with all that knowledge of how many milligrams of whatever peptides or whatever he's taking, he could still get cooked by injecting or taking something that could be possibly cut with something else that can make it look like the real thing. So I can only imagine these people following in his footsteps who don't do their proper research and might accidentally take more than they need to and could possibly lead to permanent damage or even death. Or they could just be like going on a random Chinese black market website and be like, oh my god, that's the Retta peptide. I have to order that right now. And then they inject it and then they just do, something bad happens. I don't know what, but something bad. And I'm not just talking about the peptides part of this or the steroids, but I'm also talking about the drugs that he's taking as well. Like, if you really want to live out the clavicular lifestyle and go to Miami and LARP as like a crypto guru or look maxer, like you're gonna be encouraged to do bag and rip bag is what the youngins are saying nowadays. And you don't even know what you're gonna be snorting, bro, or what pills you're taking. Like, I get it, there's like testing kits out there, but me personally, I've never done any pills or snorting bag or anything. And even if the test came back negative and it wasn't like anything bad and they were good to go, I still wouldn't want to do that to experience that. I really wouldn't. Because you're also forgetting, Clavicular is quite literally autistic. It's not confirmed, but like you could tell that he's neurodivergent and autistic. He's an autistic man. And I could tell that he was autistic or something. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I could tell that there was something not normal about this guy. He wasn't like your average Joe. But when I do a face reveal at 100,000 subscribers, I can reveal who I am and I'll tell you my whole experience at the Santa Cruz lockdown. But like, this man literally says he needs to not be sober to do streaming. So every clip, every viral, I don't know how true that is, but I kind of believe it because of what just happened the other night. But literally every clip of this guy that you see like doing a stream or something or being out in public, he is on some sort of substance that we don't know. Again, he said that he can't be sober if he streams. He literally can't stream. He can't do it. He has to be on some sort of drug. So like I said before, if you're someone following in Clav's footsteps, you'll most likely try to replicate everything he does. And you might be one of those stupid guys that like even know that he's autistic. Like, you definitely know that he's autistic and he's doing these drugs for no reason at all, but you're gonna follow in his footsteps anyway because you're a plankton robot with the bucket over your head, the chum bucket over your head. So if Clavicular says he's gonna take this certain type of drug that starts with the letter M and ends with F, then that follower is going to possibly take it as well, because he heard Clav said it suppresses your appetite and makes you leaner in the face and you lose body fat percentage and your cheeks lean out and you can mog and ascend, bro, and get all the puff for the night. So you see where I'm going with this now. For some of Clav's followers that might not know any better, they might actually start blasting this stuff and taking these substances and not even know what they're doing for the long term for the bodies. And I'm not even trying to be that guy to like ruin your fun. Obviously, I like to have fun and go out and party and stuff and like party max, but like I can do it without taking dangerous substances. And I just want to let you guys know you don't need to be on bag or be snorting or taking these certain substances to have a good time, bro. Yes, you can go out and enjoy yourself and talk to people like you normally would talk to them if you just have confidence, bro. Not saying that you're gonna bag any women, because I get it, like confidence and everything is only taking you so far with talking to women and everything. Like, looks do matter, unfortunately. But like, just to go out and enjoy yourself, you don't need to take these drugs that Clav is taking to enjoy himself. These are the reasons why you shouldn't ascend. It's bad for you, bro. It's not good. You should not be doing this stuff. And usually in life, you should at least try everything once in your life just to see how it is, so you know not to do it again. But I don't like when people make that analogy, because it's like, okay, I know how it feels to get shot, so why would I want to get shot? It's like, I'm not gonna try to get shot by a bullet because I already know it would hurt me, you know? It's like, it's a stupid analogy. Like, obviously, if I ripped bag, I know I would probably be up and bouncing off the walls and feeling amazing and go up to people and just be super talkative and stuff. But I know that I can already do that on my own. Well, maybe with a little bit of alcohol, but like, genuinely, I could do that on my own. I'm good at talking to people. I'm kind of charismatic, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't need a rip bag and take the M drug to know that what it feels like to be super up, like, because I already know what the effects of them are. But again, this is why you should not ascend, everybody. You just shouldn't ascend. So with everything I just said, you may understand now why I made this video. You should not ascend no matter the benefits, because me personally, I think it would slowly suck the soul out of your body. And when I say ascend, okay, I don't mean like not taking care of yourself or grooming yourself or getting a nice haircut or putting deodorant on. No, I'm not talking about that. Because typically when people talking about ascending now, it's much more than just basic hygiene stuff. People associate ascending with blasting peptides and taking steroids to look your absolute best and doing all these party drugs to be cool and be talkative in public. And that could lead to problems that never needed to happen in the first place. You could end up in the hospital and you never needed to in the first place. Like, stuff, like bad stuff can just happen to you, bro. And in these types of situations, like a couple of months ago, I used to say that natural selection would just weave out these buffoons that are following in his footsteps. They're not educated or like doing their research or anything. They just weave themselves out and they'll just vanish and disappear. But I kind of had a change of heart for these people following in Clav's footsteps, because low-key, I understand how it feels to be a chud and not looked at by women. So I get why people would go to the extremes to ascend and look as best as possible and take whatever they need to do and party max and take all these drugs to get to the Clav level. But like the great and wise Playboy Cardi said, everything come with a price. And you never know what you're taking until it's too late, bro. Even though that applies to pretty much everything in life, like you don't know what situation you're in until it's too late, unless you're smart about it. And that also applies to every situation. If you're smart about every situation, you'll know before it's too late. But I'm just more targeting it towards the party side of things with drug maxing and everything and thinking it's cool to do that stuff. But I just want to let you guys know that life is good sober, and maybe with a little bit of nicotine, but that's up for debate on my end. But I hope this video was a wake-up call to some of you that might be down the rabbit hole, but not everything is about ascending. You will be all right, bro, I promise. And if this wasn't a wake-up call, I just hope that you take this as informative information to stay on the right path in life. This is validation from not Squeedy, okay? This is the best validation you could get. You're gonna be all right, bro. But yeah, that's about it. If you want to see me do a face reveal and see my beautiful ascended Chad Light face, subscribe and get me to 100,000 subscribers so you can see my beautiful face. Thank you guys. Goodbye.